Bowen's Big Adventure, written by Annie Beaufort. All aboard! Bowen was a small switcher train. He spent long days moving in the many freight cars around the yard and building trains. But Bowen longed to be a big steam engine just like his dad, Big Oak, riding the rails and having adventures. "You'll have adventures when you're older," his father told him. "You're just too small right now." "But I don't want to wait," Bowen insisted. "I'm sorry, but the world is too big for a little train," said Big Oak. Then he said goodbye and headed out. "See you in 3 days, son." That night, Bowen chugged over to his friend's Babur, the caboose. She was busy lathering her flowers boxes and polishing her wheels. "I know that look," Babur said to Bowen. "You talked to your dad again?" "Yeah," said Bowen. "He says I have to wait and be patient." 3 days later, Big Elk hadn't returned, and Grand Water Tower was getting nervous. He tried to call him on her radio, but there was no reply. On the 4th day, Bowen really started to worry. Everyone in the train yard did. Where was Big Oak? That night, Bowen awoke to a big commotion at the train yard gates. He watched as a badly injured steam engine rolled in. It had been chased by a group of evil diesel engines, and Brown escaped. "What if that has happened to my dad?" worried Bowen. "Brr, we have to do something now!" Bowen was afraid to go out beyond the train yard, but she would do anything for her friend Bowen. So the two friends waited until the train yard was silent and snuck out into the night. The next morning, Bowen looked around nervously. "I've never been out far from the train yard before." "I know," Bowen said excitedly. "Isn't it great?" Chugging along the wide open rails for the first time was thrilling to Bowen. "I'm finally having an adventure," he exclaimed. "Now let's go find my dad." That evening, Bowen and Bauer were in Lizard Gulch. They were greeted by Old Brinton, an old train with stories and working in old parts. Old Woody told them about the intensive diesels trains and the way they hunted down steamer trains like Big Oak. "Electro is the meanest diesel of all," Owen exclaimed. Bowen gasped. "My dad's in more danger than I thought." "You two better get back to the train yard where it's safe," Old Windy warned them. "But I've got to warn my dad," Bowen exclaimed. Old Windy shook his head. "It's too dangerous. Promise me you will return home in the morning." Bowen nodded sadly. The next morning, Bowen and Bobber fueled up, thanks Old Winky, and headed out. When they came to a train switch, Bowen hastily flipped it. "What are you doing?" asked Bobber. That's not the way home." "I know," said Bowen, "but my dad needs me. I have to try and find him." Bobber wasn't sure what to do. "We promise we go home. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to," Bowen told her, "but I like you to. If we're together, I feel like we have a fighting chance. We make a great team." He hesitated out, his hand took her. Babber smiled and then grabbed it. Yeah, we do make a great team. Back at the train yard, Big Elk was just pulling in. He was looking forward to a long rest and having his radio fixed after his delay with his last delivery. The moment he heard Bowen was out on the open rails, Big Oak took off, roaring down the tracks. I'm coming, Bowen, he called loudly. He called out loud with his whistle. I just hope I'm not too late, he thought to himself. Unfortunately, Electro found Bowen and Babber first. Oh no, exclaimed Babber. Oh yes, said Electro with a cunning laugh. You two look like you'll make some good scrap. Bowen tried to be brave. If my dad was here, he'd put you in his place. Electro smirked. Oh yeah? And who is your dad? Big Oak, said Bowen proudly. A dinky little switcher like you is Big Oak's son, said Electro. No way. It's true, said Bowen, and don't call me little. Well, kid, you're going to wish your daddy was here to save you, said Electro. Bowen gulped. Bobber, he said. Y-E-S, yes, the answer, a frightened Bobber. Run! Yelled Bowen, and the two did just that. Bowen and Bobber practically flew down the tracks. Electro chased them through the mountains and forests. They were quickly on the tight curves, but Electro was more powerful, so he was able to catch up. Just as he was about to grab Bobber, just then a huge rumbling horn echoed through the air. Bowen recognized the sound instantly. Dad? Sure enough, Bowen looked up to see Big Oak thundering down the tracks and heading right towards them. Babber, we gotta jump, Bowen called out as they crossed a wooden bridge. What? Are you crazy? Shrieked Babber. I'm not jumping. We have to get out of the way, he shrieked Bowen. Do you trust me? Okay, I trust you, Babber exclaimed. Ready, said Bowen. 1, 2, 3, jump! Bowen and Babber jumped off the rails and landed it in a tall, soft bush.
Big Al zoomed by at breakneck speed. Smash! He collided with Electro in the middle of a tall bridge. The two powerful trains pushed back and forth with all their might. Sparks shot out from their spinning wheels. Suddenly, the sparks grew large enough and the wood bridge caught on fire. You're not going to win, you oversized old can, grunted Electro. No one messes with my son, Big Al growled. Just then, the bridge began to collapse and Electro slid down the rails and fell. Big Al was left dangling over the side of the bridge, slipping and about to fall. Hold on, Dad! Baldwin called. Courageously, he grabbed his dad to prevent him from falling, while Bobber pulled from behind, holding on to Baldwin. Let go, son, called Big Al. It's not safe. You're both too small. But Baldwin refused to listen. No, we're not too small. We're strong trains and we're a team. We can do anything. That's right, Bobber agreed.
Bowen and Babber pulled with all their might and pulled Big out to safety just as the bridge collapsed below. Thank you both for rescuing me, Big Oak said. We were braver than we knew. Bobber exclaimed. I'm so proud of you, Bowen, said Big Oak. And you were right. It doesn't matter that you're small. You have more steam in your scheme than any train I know. Thanks, Dad, Bowen said, beaming. Let's go home, Big Oak said. Can we have an adventure tomorrow? Bowen asked. Big Oak laughed. I'm sure every day will be a new adventure from now on. The end.